Hi everyone. Are you able to see my screen? Polymorphism?
Yes.
Okay. So quick recap. Yeah, last class we have been discussing about the polymorphism. Polymorphism is nothing but it behaves differently based on the places. So polymorphism has two types, overloading and overriding. We have seen examples for the overloading and overriding. Overloading is nothing but two our methods have the class name is the method name is same, but it has a different signature or different parameter list is called as a overloading. And overloading is a static binding. Overriding is two or more classes with the same method name inherits from another method. So inherits from another method which is a base class. In simple word, replacing the function inherited from the base class. And overriding will happen during the runtime. So this is a dynamic binding, right? And Salesforce supports this polymorphism. We have seen this example yesterday for the overloading and overriding. So yesterday somebody asked about the static return type, right? So today we will see static and non-static. Static and non-static. So what is static? What is non-static? In Salesforce, whether it is a method or variable, is divided into two types. First one is static method and next one is non-static. Right? Static means it's a fixed memory. That means if we have to use the static, then we have to use the keyword called static in order to implement the static. We have to use the keyword called static. And non-static is dynamic memory. Dynamic memory. So that means, for example, I have a method inside the class. Okay, this could be method or variable. Method declaration or variable declaration. If you are declaring a method or variable within the class, if you are declaring a variable or method within the class, then there are two types of methods or two types of variables are there. So one is static and another one is non-static. Static and non-static. You can create a method with the static. You can create a method with the non-static. If you are creating a method or variable with the static, you have to use the static keyword. While declaring the method or while declaring the variable, you have to use the static keyword. And whenever we declare a static, that means we are going to use fixed memory. When it comes to non-static, if I am declaring a method with a non-static, then this is a dynamic memory. This is a dynamic memory. Again, the static is divided into the two types. Again, the static is divided into the two types. One is void. One is void method. And another one is non-void. void and non-void. One is a void method and another one is non-void. Void means if I am declaring a method with the void, that means if I am declaring a method like public void and the method name. If I am declaring the void, that means it is going to return type for this will be the null. It doesn't return anything. Void does not return any value. When I say return type, after executing the method, after executing the business logic, whatever the output is there, if you wanted to print or if you wanted to return to the another class, if you want to return to the another class, void does not return the value. It returns just a null. But in case of non-void, it returns whatever the value is there, like return string or return list collection or return boolean values, or it returns the S object data, anything. Whatever you are expecting from output of this method, it is going to return. So non-void is going to return the value. Same thing for non-static. Non-static also have the two types. Non-static is also having the two types. One is a non-static void, another one is void, non-static, non-void. Right? When it comes to variable, variable will be static or non-static. That's it. Static or non-static. Now let me show you what I'm discussing here with the example by creating the one class, file, new apex class, CL underscore, today's date is 2106. We are creating the static variable, static and non-static. Okay. Now inside this static, for example, if I declare integer, we all know this, integer a equal to 20. This is normal declaration, right? But if I wanted to use the static keyword, if I wanted to declare a variable with a static, then I have to use the static keyword integer a2 equal to 30. A2 equal to 30. Right? So now I have an integer and also like static integer is there, static variable is there, normal variable. So the main difference, how can you identify whether whatever the declaration is, whether it is a static or non-static, how we can identify if there is a static keyword on the variable declaration or method declaration, we can say that this is a static variable. If there is no static keyword, that means this is non-static. Non-static variable. Same for method as well. Public void, let's say method 1. And next I will use public. Here before the void, I'll use the static void method 2. Now here I have a static. So that means this is a static method. This is a static method and this is non-static method. Static method, non-static method. Now here I have declared the non-static variable and I have declared the static variable. Now what is the difference between when I declare a static? What is going to happen? How the variable values is going to refer inside the method, right? How, for example, I have a non-static method. I have a non-static method. So what I can do is I wanted to refer, basically I wanted to print both the values, which is a non-static system.debug, which is a static. Is there any error? There is no error. I can refer the non-static here. I can refer the static variable also, right? But when it comes to the static method, it is going to throw an error because static method will accept only the static integer. It does not accept non-static integer. It says that variable does not exist A. That means if it is a static, then it will look for only the static variables. It will look for only the static variables. If I try to give that non-static variable inside the static method, then it is going to throw an error. So that means non-static variables does not accept inside the static method. It does not accept it. Same thing, not only the variable. Okay, if I try to call this method, inside the static, it will throw an error saying that that method is not declared. Non-static method cannot be referenced from static context. This cannot be referenced because it is a non-static method, cannot be referenced from static context. Clear? If you are using a static anywhere in the class, make sure whatever the method you are going to call it, that method also should be a static, or that variable also should be static. Then only we can call it. Let's say example, I'm passing the integer here. That means I'm passing the parameter. Let's say that I'm passing the one parameter, which is the integer x, and here also I'm passing the same, right? I'm passing the same parameter for non-static method, same parameter for static method, right? Now let me calculate here something, a equal to x plus a. And I'm going to print the system.debug a, whatever the output is there. So what I'm doing here, I'm getting the parameters and I'm doing the addition for this. So 20 plus whatever the value that I pass it to this method is going to set it in the A, right? And let's do same thing here as well. A2 equal to x plus A2. Let's say. Now let me execute this debug anonymous window. Initialize the object I equal to new, and then I have to execute I dot. Let me execute first non-static. So this is I'm running the non-static. I'm executing the non-static method. When I execute the non-static method, what it will do? Simply it will print 20 plus 10, 30 it is going to print. Now let me show you the static. For static methods, you need not to initialize it. Initialization of the object is not required. You can directly call the method to. Initialization is not required. If it is a non-static method, then you have to initialize the class first, and after initializing the class, then you have to take that variable and call the method. But when it comes to the static method, initialization of the class, initialization of the object is not required. Let me execute this. So both will be giving the result 30 plus 40, right? Because 20 plus 1, 30, 30 plus 10, 40. So that is what result is coming. In terms of here, result is same, right? But let's assume that I have to call, like I need to execute this method 1 multiple times. I need to execute method 2 multiple times. So in that case, what will happen? Like there is a scenario that I have to execute method every time. Like multiple times I have to execute it. If I wanted to execute a method multiple times, again I have to initialize it. Initialization is required every time whenever we wanted to execute method. So how many times I'm doing it? 3 times. Every time I'm passing that 10, 10, 10. Now same thing I wanted to execute this. If I wanted to execute method 2 multiple times, I can execute it multiple times. Like I need not to initialize it. Just mention the class name and method 2. Right? So as per the previous result, if I execute this, what is the result that I'm going to get it? This is the method 1, right? Method 1, A is 20. So this will be the result of 30. This will be the result of 30. This will be the result of 30. When it comes to the method 2, what is the result? If I'm passing 10, then A2 has a 30. So this is going to be the 40. And again, this is going to be the 40. Again, this is going to be the 40, right? This is what we are expecting the output. Any questions on this? As per the previous execution, whenever we ran the one non-static and one static method, we got 30 and 40. Now what I did, I initialized here multiple in order to execute the method 1, and here I'm running the method 2 multiple times. Right? This is what the result should come. But if I execute it, but if I execute this, debug only. So what happened? First 3 it came perfectly fine. First 3, as expected, it came 30, 30, 30. But when it comes to the static, for the first one result as expected, but the second one it changed and third one is changed. See, what might be the reason here? What might be the reason? Reason because of memory location. Because of memory location. So let me copy the class So this is the class which we have implemented, right? This is the class which we have implemented right now. Now I have declared a variable called integer a. This is a integer a. This is non-static variable. This is a non-static variable a. And I have another variable. I have another variable, static variable a2. Static variable a2. Static variable a2, right? One is non-static variable declaration, another one is static variable declaration. When the cursor was executing the method one, when it is executing the method one, what it is doing is the memory. Anyway, we have a memory which is allocated for a, that is true. But again, after that, we are initializing it. We are initializing within the a. We have initialized the class. This is for I and this is for j. So whenever we initialize, it is going to create another memory within the a. So when we declared it, already there is a memory allocated for this. But again, we are initializing it. Whenever we initialize and execute that method, and again it created another memory within the a. And right now I have the value here. I have the value here, right? The integer a is declared within the class. So there is no change in the a value. There is no change in the a value. But when we are executing the method, what we are doing it, we are adding the less than. Here I have added the I dot method one and the parameter that I am passing 10. And again j dot method one parameter that I am passing 10. And k dot method one and the parameter that I was passing is 10. So what is the value that I supposed to get? 30. And here also equal to 30. And k value also 30. But when it comes to a2, the static variable is whenever I give a static keyword, that means this is the fixed memory. This is the fixed memory. So initially the static variable value is 30, right? When first time I was executing it, I added the 10. So it increased to 40. Now the actual value, whatever it was there, the value 30, it is going to replace with a new value. Because we are not going to create any other memory here, and this is a fixed memory. So on top of the 40, we are again running plus 10. So that is equal to 50. Now the actual value of 40 is going to change to 50. Plus 10 we are adding. So it is going to be 60. So what is the values? 30, 40, 50. Right? 30, 40, 50. Right? 30, 40, 50 and 60. 30, 40, 50, 60. Right? Is it clear till now? The static keyword in the real time when we use it. Static keyword. Okay. Basically, if I wanted to store a value and that value is keep on changing. whatever the current value is there, that I need to overwrite. And I wanted to make sure that the memory should be placed fixed. It should not be changed. And this is used mostly for the lightning aura, or if I wanted to return any value to the LWC or lightning aura and the visual force pages sometimes. Right? Static is used in real time if the value is keep on changing it, and if we wanted to track the latest value. In those scenarios, we use the static. And this is used whenever we are working on the lightning aura or LWC or visual force pages, or in case there is another class. There is another class apart from this class. There is another class which is calling the static method. Okay, in those scenarios, we will use the static. And in test classes also, for initially declaration of the object, that we will come later, but in test classes also we use the static, because whenever we are executing the test classes, we have to create an account, we have to create a contact. That means initialization should happen there. We have to create a multiple records. So that's the reason we create a separate method with the static in the test class, and we refer those records in another methods. We refer those methods in another test class methods. Right? We will learn going further. Now, if this is clear, then we will move on to the next topic. Any questions on this static, non-static?
Here I have small doubts. No?
Yeah.
Like you declared one variable with value, right?
Yeah.
And in the method, you are assigning the result to the same variable.
Which one you are talking? Are you talking about static or are you talking about non-static?
Non-static.
Non-static.
Yes. In the both static and non-static, you declared one variable, right? A equal to
Right.
20 and A equal to 30.
Right.
So in the method, you are assigning the same variable value to the same variable, like A equal to X plus A.
Right.
Like already you declared the A equal to 20 and you
Right.
are doing like the same, what is the result? You are assigning this to the same variable.
Right. That's correct.
Yeah.
So basically, whenever we are calling the method, I'm passing the value. Okay. I'm passing the value, and whatever the existing value is there 20, at the end, the result is going to update it on the variable. The latest variable will be there. But as soon as I initialize another class, another object, whenever I initialize another object, then it is going to, I'll be getting the original value. I'll not be getting the 30 in terms of non-static. But where it is static, whatever the overwritten, the new value, I'll be having the new value here. Instead of 30, next time whenever I'm executing it, it will be 40. Clear?
I got that, Swapna. My question is why we are assigning the same naming convention for taking the variable to value and storing the result to the same naming convention.
You can use it differently. See, right now I have just taken just example. Okay, if you want, you can declare another variable.
No, why I'm asking is A is equal to X plus A you declared, right? How
Yeah,
it will the expression will be 20 equal to 10 plus 20 it will take, right?
yeah, that's it. So it is going to be initially the value will be 20, right? So now I am passing the 10 plus 20. So what will happen? So once this logic is executed, it will replace from 20 to 30. So what output I'll get it here? 30 I'll get it.
So if you replace any naming convention instead of A, if you take B is equal to X plus A, so it will take as B is equal to 10 plus 20. That result will store in the B.
Right.
But whereas in the A direct, okay.
If you wanted to declare a here integer b equal to x plus a. So where is the result is going to store here? B. Right? I have just taken example because instead of taking a new variable, I took it same the variable. I'm just updating because I wanted to show you the how the difference will be while executing the non-static and static. So right now your B will be the 30. So I just want to make you understand, like when I have a same variable, we are overriding the same variable, how the output will be displayed here. So that the backend logic, how it is getting executed. So that's what I wanted to make you understand. But if you wanted to take a new variable here and put it, you can always use that. Here also we can take a new variable instead of overriding the existing one.
Okay, sir.
Any other question?
Sapna, I have one doubt. Like, as a developer, when to go with the static variables and methods? Like,
Can you
as a
repeat that every developer?
no, as a developer, when to go with the static variables or methods?
Static variables is basically if you wanted, like you have some business requirement where it says that you wanted to keep the value as like you are calling some
Counter.
method from the lightning aura or LWC. Okay. So as soon as the user enter the value, as soon as the user enter the first name, okay, you wanted to calculate the first name plus and last name plus or some other values. Okay.
Okay.
If I have to tell in real time scenario, we will be having a JSON structure. It's a very high level, but I'll just tell you, there is a JSON structure will be there. Okay. When this JSON structure comes from, usually this structure comes from third party. Okay. When it comes from third party, sometimes what we do is whenever we receive the response from the third party, okay, we wanted to take those values and these values will be, it will be like this. It will be in the JSON format. You will be having so you will receive first name and last name and some values you will receive it. Okay. You do not want to change anything or you wanted to update some values like you receive something amount you will receive from the third party system. Let's say that 20,000 you received it. Okay. And also there is a discount is there. 10% discount. In this case, whenever your logic says that you wanted to modify the amount value, whatever it is coming it, first of all, whenever we receive a JSON structure, we store it in the static because we do not want to change any value there. And we wanted to place that whatever the response we are getting it, we have to place it in one memory location. And on top of that, if we wanted to change anything, then we can use static. So basically static is nothing but the values are keep on changing it and I do not want to use any other memory. It is going to be the fixed memory. And this is mostly used in the Lightning Aura and REST API integration part. When I say REST API integration, Lightning Aura or LWC, these scenarios, the static is mostly used. There are other scenarios also there, but these are the one which are highly used static. When you wanted to keep on changing the values, that time we use the static. That is a simple straightforward.
Okay, thank you, Sapna.
And moving on to the next one, next topic is abstraction. Abstraction. In Salesforce, abstraction is called as a wrapper. Wrapper class, wrapper method. In Apex, we call wrapper. But in OOPS, we call abstraction. What is the abstraction? Abstraction is ability of an object to act like another object. Another object is called abstraction. Ability of an object to act like another object is called as a abstraction. Also, there is another definition, method or which is called as an object, method or object declared with signature, without a body is called abstraction. This is in terms of Salesforce. Method or object, or I can say class, better to say class or object declared with a signature without a body. Or if I have to say another way, there is another declaration is a class that contains only variable. A class that contains only variable and does not have any methods, is called abstract. A class that contains only a variable and does not have a methods. This is simple, straightforward. This is in terms of Salesforce. This definition is in terms of Salesforce. A class that contains only the variable but does not have any methods. What is the meaning of that? Let me go ahead and show you with the example. File close all, file new Apex class CL. Today's date is 21/06, and this is a wrapper example 1. Wrapper example 1. Okay, this is a class. Okay, inside this class, let me go ahead and declare variables. Public string name. Let me take different type of variables. Public integer salary. Public list of account ACC. And let me take another one, which is a S object contact C. Right? This is primitive data type. This is also primitive data type. And this one, collection data type. Collection data type. And this one, S object data type. S object data type. or I can say a subject data instead of data type. A subject data, collection data, primitive data. Right. So now I'm creating a wrapper. Okay. Whenever we create a wrapper, we have to always use get set. Wrapper always have a get set. Wrapper always have a get set. Okay, perfect. Let me create another class. This is a wrapper use. I'm going to use this class. The wrapper example one, I'm going to use this class in wrapper use. So how can I use that? So this is the wrapper. Basically, it has all the variables, but there is no method declaration. Without a body, only the variable declaration is called as a wrapper or abstraction. Now, in the new class, again, I'm declaring the public. Let's take a string n. Now, I wanted to call this class inside this. How can I call? I can simply call public. I need not to declare any data type. Simply call the class and let's give the variable name here. Public wrapper class name, and I'm giving a name to this public name to the wrapper class. I'm giving a name to the wrapper class. Similar like public list of account ACC. Okay. So now what I'm doing, I'm thinking this as a data, right? Here, I'm thinking this is as a data type. I'm not, observe this, I'm calling the direct class without declaration of any method. I'm directly calling inside the class. Inside the class, I'm calling the wrapper. Now let me go ahead and initialize the method. Public class public class void method one. Now inside this method one, I have this is the primitive data type, right? And this is the abstract of wrapper data. This is a wrapper data, and this is primitive data. And this one collection data. For primitive data, if I wanted to initialize anything, I can simply go ahead and initialize it just straightforward. Right, I can simply declare it. So if in case if we wanted to know, we can print system.debug. Now next, we have a wrapper data here. How can I call this wrapper data? Like wrapper has 4 variables. Wrapper has 4 variables: name, salary, collection data, and a subject data. Name, salary, account, contact. I have a 4 variables that are declared inside the wrapper. Now, how can I call those wrapper variables? Wrapper data, how can I call here? So for that, you have to use this. What are the variables that is declared? First, you need to initialize this. You need to initialize so that now I can give the w dot. The system is going to suggest me. So as soon as I say w dot, it is going to suggest me there are 4 variables are here. Let's say name equal to done. W dot name is done. Salary equal to some value. And next one, what is the value that I have? W dot. Next, I have a account and contact. Account is list and contact is a subject. So before I set it to the account, the first thing what I have to do, I have to get the account. There are multiple ways I can do it. I can directly do the AC equal to query. Select ID comma name from account. Let's give the limit to. Now I can refer that w dot ACC equal to AC. I can refer this. What I'm doing here, I'm querying it. This is a SOQL query. This is the SOQL query. First, I'm querying the things. First, I'm querying the SOQL. And once I'm done with the query, then I'm setting it here. What is the error here? Method does not exist or incorrect signature void. Okay. So I have to use the new keyword because I'm initializing this. Right. So I have initialized the wrapper class here. And within the wrapper class, whatever the variables are there, I'm trying to access those variables in different class. W dot name equal to del, W dot salary equal to some value, and W dot ACC equal to AC. Either you can do this, or if you want, you can directly query it here. You can directly query it here. Right? And what else we have? We have a contact S object is there. S object is there. So for this, we need to have first, we need to have the contact information because we do not have anything here. So contact, let me get the list of contact equal to select ID, comma name from contact. Now how many contacts I'm going to get it? Let's give the limit as 2. I'm going to get the 2 contacts, but here this is a single S object. So I just need a first one. Or else what you can do is you can create a new contact. You can create a new contact. How can you create a new contact? Contact C equal to new contact. What are the values that are required here? First name equal to Rupam. And last name equal to K. Okay. So for in order to create a contact, only these 2 variables are required. So either you can give contact to 0, the first whatever you are getting. So what I'm doing here, first I'm querying the existing records. From the existing records, here I'm getting the 2 records. Right? Instead of the 2 records, I need only 1 record here because this initialization of the contact C is single S object data. So it required only single value. Either I can get the existing records or I can create a new record and give and refer that value here. Let's say Okay. So now what we are doing it here, declare the string and initializing, giving the variable value is assigned to n, and I'm printing it wrapper class. Wrapper class, I'm initializing it here, and whatever the values are there, whatever the data is there in the wrapper class, I'm trying to set it here. That's it. Okay, let me go ahead and print. New initialize the object or initialize the class dot. What is the method that we have? Method 1. Are there any parameters that I'm passing here? No parameters. Let me go ahead and execute it. I'm not printing any value here. Let me print it. What are the values I want? I can print it. Let's say debug, execute the highlighted one. On debug, it's coming some Scala Dell account. These accounts are existing one. And this contact I have created right now. Clear? Any questions on this class?
Yeah, just wanted to check on this get and set, like how we are using this get and set in this case.
Right. So wrapper, if you attended my Visual Force classes, for the Visual Force classes also get and set is required. Let me explain it clearly here. Let me open the paint. Okay. So now we created a wrapper class and we have a main class here. This is the wrapper class and this is the main class. So what we are doing is I'm declaring the variables here. Some v1, v2, some variables I'm declaring it here. Now this variable declaration is done. Now what is my main class is doing? My main class is first it is calling the wrapper. Let's assume that this is a wrapper A. The class name is wrapper A. The class name is wrapper A. So main class it is calling the wrapper A. And once it called the wrapper A, it wanted to, main class want to send or set some values to this. Like this has some values here. It has some 20, 30 values are there. So I wanted to set these values to the, basically I wanted to assign the values to the wrapper values. Wrapper values I wanted to assign. So in that case, what we will do is we will use the set. If I wanted to set this, this is the same concept for the Visual Force pages also. We have to use the set. Whatever the value I wanted to assign to the wrapper class or wrapper method, I have to use the set. But for example, let's assume that V4 is result. This is the result value. Okay, once we have these values and the logic will be within this main class. Once the main logic is executed, we are doing something V1 plus V2 plus or some values, V2 plus V3 plus or some calculation we are doing it. So once the calculation is done, we are storing it to the new variable. We are storing it to the new variable. So now I wanted to set this here, and at the same time, I wanted to receive it for the next action. Based on the V4, I wanted to calculate some other business logic. Based on the V4, I wanted to calculate some other business logic. So in that case, I need to get this. I need to get the value. So that's the reason, instead of simply doing the set command, like what are the variables I need, only do the set, and what are the variables that I do not need a set, just remove the get. You can do this also, because you are clear right now which one is the set and which one is the get. But in real time, developers always use the get set both together. The reason is, tomorrow if anybody comes out and in this entire logic, they might need this name somewhere else. So that's the reason on the initialization of the class, when we are writing the initial step of the classes, when we are doing it, everybody does the get set. Though it is working right now only for set, but we also give the get, because we do not know in future if this might be needed in future to get the values. Here I'm printing it, I'm getting the values, right? So whenever it is needed to get, we can, instead of later changing it during the initialization of the class, wrapper class or wrapper method, we always do the get set. Clear? Deepak, are you clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Any other question? And this need not to be separate class. Okay, in real time, wrapper class will not be as a separate. This will be like a method. At the bottom, you will see that public. So it will be created at the bottom. Okay. So in real time, we use the main class. In the main class only, we write the wrapper at the bottom.
So like an inner class.
Yep.
Swapna, as an inner class, we can use it. Right?
Yes, but what is the drawback is, whenever you declare a wrapper class, you cannot, in case if there is another class which requires same set of variables and same set of collection data is required. In that case, what you have to do, in another class also you have to declare again the same wrapper class. So instead of doing the wrapper class in individual classes, if you know that there is a requirement, multiple classes are going to use the wrapper class, then you declare the wrapper class separately, so that anybody can refer this wrapper class whenever it is required. But if you have a requirement only for particular class which is needed the wrapper class, then use that wrapper class here inside the class. No need to have a separate class.
बॉडीगार्ड आया चला को फूल बार तोड़ देती बैंक कहां
Any other questions?
Swapna?
So the
Hello.
Trailhead. Sorry, Ishwar, you have any questions?
Yes. So on daily basis, at what time you are conducting the sessions? We are not getting any update.
Are you there in the group? There is a group
No.
that is created.
No.
Okay. Let me add you in that, or my team will add you. Okay. So
Okay.
ideally, my sessions are like 4 to 5 or 12 to 1. If I have a meeting between the 12 to 1, I'll switch it to 5. Otherwise, I'll take ideally 12 to 1 during the lunch time.
And another thing, if you want to see this session again, where the recordings will available.
Yes, we can have it.
How we can access these videos?
Videos, my team is going to send you. You have shared your email ID also, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
I'll update my team. There are videos. Yesterday I have not recorded. Okay, so I forgot to record it yesterday session, but other videos are available.
Okay. Okay.
Vikrant, are you not getting the videos?
Yes.
Can you ping me your email ID? I think today is your first session.
No, yesterday was my first section.
Okay, can you ping me your email ID and contact number?
Yes.
Okay, whoever started today, ping me the contact number and email IDs, because we will be sharing the recording sessions, notes, programs, whatever this PNG, whatever it is that we will be sharing all of this. Okay, I'll update my team. Ishwar and Vikrant, I'll update it. I have your contact number, Ishwar, so I'll let you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you ping me your email ID also? I got your phone number, but in case if you want a videos, recorded sessions, let me.
You are asking me, Swapna?
Yes.
Prati?
Yes.
Okay.
Nivas, I think I have your email ID, right? If not, can you ping me? Okay. Fine. So today session, the Trailhead practice is, there is a developer beginner trial is there. So go to this. Security model, Tapeshwar. Yes, we'll do that. That part we will be covering in the admin session only. But in case if it is not completed, or if you wanted to go through again, let me know, we can do that. That is going to be separate session. So this is the, sorry. Okay. This is the Trailhead practicing platform development. This is very simple, develop without code. So what they have explained is metadata, and this has some kind of a question answers, and code with the Salesforce language, extend the Salesforce platform, data modeling, because by this time you should be aware of data modeling, and practice this data modeling, data management, because once you have the clarity on the data, then only you can play with the Apex coding. If you do not understand the data, it is very difficult to do this. Like whenever I'm creating the contact or whenever I'm pulling the records, I need to know that what are the API fields that have this contact object. So, and what is a structure? So data modeling, data management is very important. Data security will be important. Leave this flows, mobile app, leave that part, and then Apex basic database. Okay, complete these things. What are the things? Platform development basic, data modeling, data management, data security, formulas and validation, Apex basic and database. That's it. Apex basic and database will have only 5 sessions. Are there 5 modules in this? This is normal. This is how to use the S object, manipulating the records with the DML, writing the SOQL query, and this is also writing the SOQL query, which is a straightforward. So complete this trial heads. So whatever we have completed so far, this is going to cover everything.
Total
Any
how
other
many
questions?
mentioned, Swapna? So 5 modules, right? Total, Swapna?
Yes. Let me bring it. Platform development basic, 1 module. Data modeling, the second one. And data management, the third one. Data security. Formulas and validations. And the last module is 6th one, Apex basic and database. Apex basic and database. So there are 6 modules, complete that. And in my previous classes, did I give object-oriented programming admin? Did I give this trial head?
No idea.
Okay, if you have not completed this also, because we completed the session on object-oriented programming language. This is very easy, how to use the set, map, for loop, while, DML, creating a classes object. This is straightforward, this one. So total 7 modules. Please practice it, because these are going to be in the real time, how it is going to be. If you have any questions or if you want any videos, notes, let my team know. Okay. Let my team know so that they will send you all the videos and notes. And one more thing, if you subscribe my channel, you will be automatically getting the videos. No need to send every time. There is a YouTube channel on my name. If you subscribe it, you will get it automatically.
What is the channel name, Swapna?
Channel name is, just a second. I'll share you in the WhatsApp group. Okay, that will be easy for me.
Swapna Salesforce is there, that one?
Yeah. So there, all the sessions will be there. Admin, development, Lightning Aura, LWC, everything will be there.
Can you confirm that? I have pasted the link.
Yes, this is. So this is the one you will be having all the things. Okay. So as soon as the today's session is done, we will be uploading it here. So this is the inheritance one. Single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical. So all the sessions will be here available, and every day we will be uploading it here.
Oh, thank you.
Okay then, yeah. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Swapna. Bye.
Thank you.